Hello, everybody. How are you? This is a different view, isn't it? I'll always point in the right direction now. It's when she's in her own bedroom that I screw that up. Welcome to the first ever, the first of many episodes of Dear Universe. Man, we're excited about this. Hey, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She says, mm-hmm. Show some enthusiasm, gosh dang it.
Woo!
That's better. We came up with this concept when we were on the boat, on the ship in Japan, I think it was it not? That our guides came up with that. I said our guides gave us this concept and we ran with it. So how this is going to work, folks, is in the chat. We already have people chatting. That is awesome. Hello, April Trigg. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Donna Jackson. So I'm glad people are actually chatting because this is a big part of this show. Is we're going to pick a question that has been submitted over the week, and we're going to do a deep dive into it. We're going to rely a lot on the chat, making comments and asking questions, or just answering the question themselves. Because this question here that we picked tonight, would you say it's the most common question that you get?
Yeah, I see a lot of people asking about how they can move through the process of grief. And so, yeah, it's a biggie.
It's a biggie. So, having said that, our first question ever on Dear Universe is, how do we get through grieving, or how do we get through grief?
Yeah. And a lot of people tell you that you don't.
Yes. We're here to tell you.
Grief is a season.
Oh.
And I'll explain that more, but it really doesn't have to be continuous grieving forever.
Grief, I'm gonna repeat what you said. Grief is a season, because we've talked about this a lot, because I wanted to understand her concept of how grief works. And obviously I've lost a lot in my life. I lost my dad before I was born, so that doesn't really count. Kind of does,
well,
but not. I still grieved. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I lost I lost 3 brothers and then my mom. But I went through grief differently for each one of them, especially the last one, because I connected with them right away because of my mediumship. I didn't really grieve as someone would normally grieve. Does that make sense?
Well, you grieve the physical presence of the person.
Yeah.
But you're still connected in the spirit.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Where when Blaine passed, that was totally different for you.
Yeah. You. Well, I didn't have the mediumship ability, and so, or maybe I do, but I didn't know how to use it.
Yes, that would be a fair way to say it. Very, very good catch. So I didn't have to correct you. April Trigg says it comes and goes. Mm-hmm. Is that the season you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, especially in the beginning, grief, people describe it as coming in waves. So there's these emotions, these really heavy emotions that come in, sadness and jealousy and guilt and shame, and all of those things come in, and they're quite dark and heavy. And so when those come in, they come in waves. And at the beginning, it's really close together. And then as time goes on, often those waves get further apart. That's how a lot of people describe it.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, you, when you lost Blaine, you guys were at that kind of a crossover chapter in your life, so I'll call it. You were ending one chapter, about to start a new chapter, When I say that, Blaine, you guys had sold the farm. Blaine had retired. You had planned to retire soon. And you guys had a bunch of plans, obviously. And then, and I use this term intentionally, that rug was pulled out from underneath you. You thought at the time that was going to last the rest of your life, or that's what you were told.
Mm-hmm. So that heavy feeling of, well, it's despair.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a deep sadness, sorrow. It feels like, you can't breathe. Your heart's heavy. You wake up in the morning with this cloud of sadness on top of you, and you muddle through your day. And then at any different moments, when you remember the person, it just brings it all back. It's really tough, especially at the beginning.
And so, of course, just like anybody that's going through that, you reached out for help. Mm-hmm. What did you find when you first reached out for help? What were you kind of told? Where did you get, what was your impression?
Well, I mean, I talked to some people who had lost a loved one, and they said things like, well, it doesn't really go away. It's, it gets a little easier. You learn how to carry it. You get used to it, kind of thing. And I wasn't real fond of that.
You didn't want to carry that burden with you.
No, I didn't want to carry that sadness with me. It was clouding over everything that was joyful for me.
Well, and it would. Like, I mean, losing a brother and losing a mother, I guess I should explain that because I'm the youngest of 9. It's expected you're going to lose the older ones. It's just, that's life. You're going to lose parents. That's life. It's sad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say it's not sad, but it's what happens in life. We live, we get old, then we go home. It's just, that's how it works. But when you lose somebody where you've been with them 24/7, well, not 24/7, but you were with them for 35 years, and then that's taken away, that initial year, and we talk about this on a regular basis, you and I, it's the first for many things. Mm-hmm. And then that next year, is that what they're talking about when it gets better, that second year?
Well, some people will say it gets worse the second year. That wasn't the case for me, but some people will say like they were in so much shock the first year that they really don't start to feel until the second year.
Right.
So that's, everybody's journey is a little bit different. And I think it depends on, the way that your particular process is going.
Sorry, folks.
Kevin's adjusting his ankle situation.
It's my foot's swelling, and I need to release the hound. Sorry, folks. Sorry about that.
So it's like, I didn't really love the answers I was getting. And I hoped and prayed that there were people out there that would tell me that I wouldn't feel like this forever, and that I wouldn't be carrying this sorrow forever.
Which I couldn't imagine. I remember when my mom passed, that first few months, I'm going to go to my brother, 09, that first few months. And I remember it distinctly because I was so involved in his passing, being with him. I was kind of his caregiver. And then when everything was done, I spent, I think it was 2 weeks in Vernon, BC, where he lived, organizing the services and everything else. And then when everything was done, I went home. And guess what I did? I had to resume my regular life. Mm-hmm. And I remember at times I would giggle or I would laugh. And then I'd go, and I'd be like, how can I be happy? That's not allowed. Like, I'm supposed to be in mourning. Did you go through that process?
Yeah, I mean, I was reaching for moments of happiness, like, and I was trying to figure out ways that I could get the joy back again. And I was finding every time there was some kind of a happy event that normally would be so exciting for us, it just wasn't. It was always clouded with that
Yeah.
sadness. Yeah.
So you decided at some point,
Mhm.
F this.
I need help.
I'm not I'm not going to go through life the rest of my life feeling like this.
Yeah.
At what timeline did that happen for you? Where was that realization?
It was somewhere around Christmas time. I
Oh,
had gone home to spend Christmas with Blaine's family, and when I came back, I packed up and I went out to mom and dad's. And when I was there, I was like, "This is no good. Like I can't do this. This is not getting better in any way, shape, or form." And I mean, it had only been 2 months, but I was yearning to get back on my feet. I just didn't want to. I wanted to figure out. I was a teacher, so there must be a way, right? If I just research enough,
there's
and
got to be a book.
there's got to be something, yeah, to help me through this. And there was, and there was.
And do I want to go there? Not yet. People around you, um, obviously your kids were going through their process of
Mhm.
grieving.
Yes.
Your parents were going through their process of grieving
Yes.
a son-in-law. His brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, and all the extended family were going through their process.
Yes.
Were you aware of everything around you in that first 3-4 months? Were you even cognizant that other people were going through the same as what you were? Not the same as what you were, but they were grieving. They're in that grieving process.
Well, I think I knew my kids were hurting,
Of course.
but I absolutely didn't know how I could help them. I couldn't even help myself.
Right?
It was yeah, not a great place to be.
So you reached out, you decided, I'm a teacher. I've got 2 master degrees. Is that right? Masters?
Yeah.
I was going to say PhDs.
No,
Just masters.
that would be great.
just 2 masters, nothing big. So you had 2 masters. You went, there's got to be something better. There's got to be a way out of this.
Yeah.
And where did you go? Like, because I would love to have first thought of that in 2009. Where did you go? What did you do?
Well, I got on the internet.
And I guess the internet was around in 2009.
Yes, there was internet.
But it wasn't really, you didn't go to Google as much as you do now. I don't think Google might not have been around.
Yeah. Well, it's 2021.
No, I'm talking mine.
Oh, for you.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
So you got on the internet and?
Yep. And I found an article by Sean Doyle. And he had lost his wife very suddenly. And he wrote 4 things that help you feel better in grief. And I read this article, and they were all great points, but one of them said something about him starting his chapter 2. So it was like, we've lived this chapter of our lives, and he started this chapter 2. And I thought, well, if he could start a chapter 2, maybe I could start a chapter 2. Like, I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but there was an inkling of possibility, like a little bit of hope that maybe I could live some kind of joyful life again.
Because somebody else you saw and read that somebody else
did it. Yeah.
You know what? It's like the light bulb moment. Did you reach out to him?
No, I
Oh,
didn't. What I did was I did some more searching because I thought, okay, well, there's one person. I
let's see.
actually
Let's find another
I
one.
got his book though. I
Oh,
did
okay.
get his book and I read it, and it was very helpful. It really was. It was very short, easy read. I can't remember what the name of it is now. Otherwise, I would share
We'll
that.
post the name. We'll post the name later.
But then I was going through Facebook one day, and I mean, all this time I'm asking for help, right? I'm asking the
The universe.
universe,
Yeah. Okay.
God, somebody help me. And this post comes up and it says, some people say you will grieve for a lifetime. I choose otherwise. I choose the path from hurt to hope to healing every day.
Say that again because that's freaking powerful. Say it again. Whew. Goosebumps.
Some will say you grieve for a lifetime. I choose otherwise. I choose the path from hurt to hope to healing every day.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How did that hit you?
Oh, I was like, who is this person? Like, I need to talk to this person.
Yeah.
Like, what is this about? Like, I want to know about this.
And who was it that?
That was Julie Clough. That was my grief coach.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one you reached out to.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you first reached out, did you know without a shadow of a doubt that that was the start of your your chapter? You called it chapter 2.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was absolutely terrified to meet with her because I knew that if she was going to make me talk about what happened, I was going to cry. And I didn't want to do that in front of a stranger or anyone, actually.
Because we're strong.
Yeah, well, and I was just in such a place of desperation. I just knew I had to try it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, folks, as we're talking here, feel free if you have questions of something you're going through, that you went through, that you think might help somebody else. Because remember, Angela was on the internet. Was it Facebook or
Facebook?
It was on Facebook, and she saw a quote that triggered her to take that next step. It could be something you type into that chat that helps that person sitting who just lost somebody and they're sitting in despair. That was the word you used.
Mm-hmm.
And you can help them. And I say that with all seriousness because we can all use that, especially now, especially in the world, the way the world is now with all the BS, I'll say. We're on Facebook, so they don't like it when I swear. The BS that is happening in the world. So if you have questions of either myself or Angela, I almost pointed the wrong way again. You're right there. Type them in and we'll do our best to answer them because that's what this is about. So you took the leap of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And
after that first session with her, I absolutely knew that she was going to help me. I just knew it. I knew that that was going to be the way through all of this.
What, and I know you probably don't remember word for word what she said to make you go, yeah.
Well, she explained emotions, and I don't think that I understood emotion. I know I didn't. I always, when I went to a funeral,
you were sad.
I was sad, but I was beyond sad, like a volcano sad. And I was terrified to go there because if I ever started crying, I thought, I will never stop. And I was explaining this to her, and she pointed out to me that I had been suppressing emotions for years, years and years and years. And so she encouraged me to give myself some grace. And she explained to me how these emotions work in the body and how we can release them and without guilt. You know, a lot of people cry and then they go, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There's no, I'm sorry. That's not part of this. And what she called it was dirty crying. It was like,
Dirty, the ugly cry.
it's not the real clean crying where you allow yourself and you're giving yourself that permission to be that.
That's the dirty crying.
Dirty crying is when you feel really bad about it.
Oh.
You're feeling like, well, I shouldn't be doing this now. I should be over it by now. This shouldn't be happening in front of people, you know, that kind of stuff. Then it doesn't release properly is what happens.
Well, yeah, that makes
it just creates more guilt or whatever.
Yeah. And that's when we get the ugly crying.
Well, yes, because we're suppressing.
We're suppressing it and it comes out ugly. I like it. Ugly, dirty. Yeah, makes sense.
Dirty crying.
Makes sense.
If somebody said that's me.
Donna Jackson. That's me. Can you explain that, Donna? That's me. Do you mean the ugly crying or the dirty crying or suppressing? When I say we, I talk in generalities from practitioners of spirituality. We constantly said, well, you just got to let it go.
Yeah.
We just let it go, let it go. It's that song. Frozen. Thank you. And I remember when I first started doing this and people were like, well, Kevin, you just got to let that go. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Like nobody teaches us. I wasn't taught as a 6-year-old how to let it go. Mm-hmm. I was taught as a 6-year-old how to hold it in.
Yeah.
That's what we were taught.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to school. No crying at school now. You'll be in trouble if you cry at school, Kevin. But I'm going to miss you, Mommy. Yeah. Right? I don't think I said that.
Boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry. We're tough.
Yeah.
You know, right. I'm the biggest suck you've ever met. Anybody knows me knows that. So when we say we need to release, that's the other word. We need to release it. How do you find with your clients is the best way to get them to release an emotion? Because that's what it is, that sadness, that emptiness. How do you get them to release that emotion?
Well, there's several tools that you can use. And it's really a trial and error kind of experience for everybody because some things work better for some people and some things work better for others.
Yes.
And so for me, writing was a huge release. I could write about my situation and I felt free to just put on that paper whatever was coming up in my brain. And somehow as I wrote, it would somewhat organize my thoughts and I would see myself. I could see the way I was thinking. I could see the way I was feeling. And then I would get a different perspective on it after I wrote it out. It was very healing for me to do that.
That is cool. Because what I have done with my clients is a lot of times is I'll tell them to write it down and then burn it. Mm-hmm. Or put it somewhere and never look at it again because it's gone. Give it up to the universe, I guess, is the way we practitioners, that's a new word. But it's hard. It's not an easy process to go through. I'm not talking grief. I'm just talking about letting that emotion go.
Yes. And you're just letting emotion go. You're just letting pain go. You're not letting the person go. Yes. And that is a really key point that I need to explain because I didn't understand that either. There were moments where I felt like if I let go of this emotion, I might lose that connection. And that just isn't true.
You'll never forget. Like when I've been referring to my brother Pat, who passed away in 2009. He was a quirky kid. He was older than me, but he had his ways. We called them Patisms. And I still remember him. Everything from rubbing his chin to his funny laugh after every sentence. And I literally can hear it in my brain. Like So that never goes away.
No. And I mean, love can never die. You know what I
It's
mean?
an
Like love,
impossibility.
it goes on forever and it only expands with time. So it's not like you're going to lose that connection because that love is always there.
Yes. I love, first, we're going to go to Donna, what
Mm-hmm.
Donna, because she answered my question. And she says, I don't show any emotion. And when I do, it's when I'm by myself. You know what, Donna? That's a very popular statement. I hear it all the time. Hell, I do it. I try, especially when um, because I'm dealing with a lot of people in grief, doing my mediumship. I take in a lot of sadness, and I have to drop that somehow, and I will do that privately. Um, how do you answer that? Is that okay?
Yeah. There are moments where you can cry. I mean, if you are with supportive people around you, absolutely, you allow yourself to cry. But sometimes we're in a space, and I'm thinking right now, I was in a Chinese food restaurant ordering Chinese food, and I looked out the window, and there was a Ford F-350 silver truck. It looked like Blaine's truck, and I wanted to cry. And I didn't. My coach had said to me, sometimes these emotions will come and it'll be a time where you just don't want to let it go. And she said, what you can do is set up yourself this imaginary weight room where you put that emotion and you let that emotion know that it's important to you, that you are going to give it the time and acknowledge it, but just not right now. And then this is the key, you have to make the time. And
don't
so at
don't
night,
ignore it.
yeah, in the evening, I always journaled. I always gave myself that time. And that's what I would do. I would write down the circumstance, what happened. I would bring that all back up. And if I needed to cry, it was crying. And some people will even play a certain type of music to kind of get themselves in that space so that they
Sad
can
songs.
release it again. Um, I think it's okay as long as you don't stay there.
Yes. And that's the key. The
Yeah.
go into the, you called it a weight room. I'm like picturing weights, but you're like, that's a weight room, like
Waiting room.
waiting room.
Yeah.
Long as you go into the waiting room, deal with that emotion, and then walk out of that waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah. I think a lot of people that were successful and are successful with their grief take time out of their day to actually feel into themselves and see where they're at with their emotions. They're very aware of how things are coming up and they're not numbing with a phone or a TV or, they're just allowing that to come up and giving themselves a certain amount of time to do that. And you kind of know intuitively when, okay, you know what, this is good. And
I'm
you,
done.
you go and you take a deep breath and you wash your face and you feel better. Actually, if you do it right, you feel better after a good cry. And it's good to do that. It's good to release that, but there's a million other ways to release as well, other than crying.
Can you I'm gonna, before, don't let me forget that, because that's important. I just want to make sure we're getting people's comments. April Trigg from Medicine Hat, I believe she lives in. I write a few words every single night to my mom since 2016.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts on that?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Because that's the connection, right? You're keeping the connection. And I know for myself, especially in the first few years, I would go out and go curling, and then I would come back and I would stand in front of Blaine's picture and I would tell him all about it, like what this was like. Can you imagine what this is like? Like, you're not here, and here I am meeting these people. I have no idea who they are. I would do that, and it would help me feel close. And I really feel like that was where I'd get a lot of messages from Blaine.
Yes.
In those moments.
Because you were tuned in.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm checking with Blaine.
Why?
to see
Because you
if,
don't believe me?
no, to see if he actually was there, and he was.
Oh, absolutely.
And of course, he was there when you were curling, so it was even cooler when you came back.
Yes.
And especially those first few years
Mhm.
where he wanted to make sure you were okay, because he promised you things before he crossed that he had to fulfill, I'll say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 I'm
getting a lot of comments.
Getting a lot of comments.
Like, we got to go back.
We got to go back up. This is exactly what we wanted, folks. How do I go back up? There we go. This one. This is from April out on Vancouver Island. Grief for me took so much courage. I learned that each time I let go into the sadness, it was another step into my new reality. The crying was another step.
Yeah, I love that, because you're moving forward each time
Yes.
that you release that, and you can feel yourself lighter after that good cry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a point? We'll jump. I know we're jumping all over, but this is exactly what we wanted this show to be. Is there a point where, if you're crying every night, if you're crying like going into the waiting room 5 times a day for 3, 4, 5 years, that can't be like, there's got to be, am I making sense with what I'm trying to put out there? I know I wasn't finishing my sentence.
It does happen that people will get stuck in that. And they often know that they are stuck.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to get out of it. And rightfully so, because we're never taught how. So you're in the muddle. Sometimes we just haven't found the right person, the right information, the right connection. Group. Yeah, it just, and people will try different things, and if it doesn't work, they just maybe give up because they think that they just can't.
Yes.
You can and I can't. But I try to, I tell people grief is a process, and a lot of people will say grief is an emotion. I don't see it as just an emotion. It's a physical process, it's a mental process, it's a spiritual process. And going through that process takes different lengths of time for different people. If you think about learning your times tables, some people learn them, in a week, and the next person it took a couple of months. It depends on your situation and what's happened in your relationship with the other person. But everyone, I truly believe everyone can heal from their grief.
Oh,
it makes me sad that some people think that they can't.
And there is, unfortunately, groups, is that a fair way to say it, out there that allow others to sit in this sadness for way too long without trying to help them. It's like seeing someone stuck in the mud and not offering a hand to pull them out of the mud. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh no, I'm going to jump in the mud with you, and we can talk about how we're stuck in the mud.
Yeah, well, it's like that birds of a feather fly together, right?
Yeah.
And to a point, it's supportive to have someone who's in the same space as you. The only difference here is that we want to get out of that. And so what kind of resources can we share with each other? What's helping us? How can I change my day so that I'm taking steps forward?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. Sorry, we have more. Oops.
Yes, we do.
What did I do?
You made us small.
There we go. I don't know if I made us small for everybody or just us. What is April devoid?
That I would know what I needed to do when I needed to do it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's very intuitive.
Yes. Yeah. And I think once we make the decision mentally to say, I need to get better, that's when everything will happen for us. But until we make that statement, whether we make it out loud or it's a thought, we're going to stay stuck in that mud, and we're just going to bring other people into the mud with us. And I know it sounds really callous and bad, but that's what a lot of, I know I've seen it. That's what a lot of people do. And then every once in a while, you'll see, oh, a person left. They're not in the mud anymore. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's still people sitting in the mud, and they've seen people leave the mud, like yourself, but they're not willing to let it go because what is that fear?
Well, there's a story that we tell ourselves, and yeah, it is a fear. It's a valid fear, because when you step into the unknown, you have no idea how this is going to go. You It's like stepping into a really dark room and having absolutely no idea where you're going. But there's some level of trust that has to happen, that you can find someone that will take your hand and help lead you through that dark room and help you find some light so that you can see kind of where you're going. I always tell people, in that dark space, that is where all the possibility lies.
Yes.
This is where all the universe surprises you, and gives you some things. It's just, it's taking a bit of a leap of faith, is what it's like. It's scary.
Well, it is. It's because it's that unknown, right? It's.
Yeah.
I was taught when someone dies, you wear a veil over your head,
Mm-hmm.
figuratively, or a lot of people actually wear a veil over their head.
Yeah.
And that's the way they go through life.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it wasn't until I met you and we talked about grief that I realized, wow, I did that without even realizing I was doing it. I did what you talk about without even realizing, because it was just, I was at that point in my life where I made a lot of changes in my life. So my guides, I didn't call them guides, it was my intuition at that time, were saying, okay, now you can do this, and now you can do this. And it just made me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
This is why we do that. This is why this show came into existence. So you're going to have to put your glasses on. You want to read it before I put it up?
It's a form of grief, regret over something I did, not fully understanding the ramifications I carried. Oh, this is so common.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's.
Grief is, it's very, very, very common to feel guilty in grief and have regret.
Let me read the whole thing, because
Yes.
it's not going to come up. I constantly experience a form of grief, regret over something I did as a boy, not fully understanding the ramifications that carried over throughout my life. It's like a festering memory that won't go away. I know this is an entirely different experience of grief, but your insight would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it's not even that different. It's actually part of the process. And what I was told, when you feel guilty, the real definition of guilt is when you do something on purpose, you know it's wrong, and you do it anyway. And often those kinds of things, we'll have remorse for, we'll be able to do something about. Most of the time, probably 97 or 8% of the time, we're not trying to do something to hurt someone else. We're maybe having fun and maybe not paying attention. We're maybe in a space where we just don't understand the ramifications. But that's not reason for guilt, because you didn't do it out of wanting to hurt someone.
Yes. Yeah.
And so there's a difference. But yet we do feel guilty. We feel really guilty, and we feel like we can't get closure on that. And here's the thing. Everybody does things that they wish they hadn't have done. We all make mistakes. We all do those sorts of things. But the best thing you can do for yourself and for everyone around you is to give yourself some kind of grace. If your friend had done this particular thing, if you looked at your friend and they had this story, what would you tell them? I bet you it would be a lot nicer than what you're telling yourself.
Yes.
We are hard on ourselves. For whatever reason, we are very, very critical of ourselves, much more so than anyone else. And those thoughts get cycled in our brain, and there's a pathway that's created. If you read Mary Frances O'Connor, she talks about the brain and grief, and really she talks about neural pathways being built. So for many years we think this way, right? And it's hard to break those cycles. But just having a really compassionate look at you and realizing that the amazing, wonderful human being that you are, and just knowing all the good things that you've done in your life, and just realizing and looking at the gratitude, or feeling the gratitude for the things that are in your life, helps put you in a different space and perspective on that particular thing. And so I always say, put your arm around yourself like you are your best friend, and tell you what you would tell your best friend about that. I bet you it's a lot kinder.
Well, and it's, when I look at it, and I counsel clients through their guides or my guides, and whether it's an isolated incident or it's something we did in a series of events, we look what we've done from that point going forward. And if we've corrected our lives from that point forward, then there, yeah, was that aspect or whether that thing that happened bad? Probably. I'm going to say yes.
Well, it might have been a mistake.
It was a mistake. It might not, if we were 61 looking back and we could go back and change it, we'd probably not let that happen.
Yeah.
But we weren't. And those things that we think with this stupid brain of ours are so horrible, they're what made us who we are. Whether we had to go through the guilt, the grief, the anger at ourselves, and every other emotion that we can pile on top, it turned us into who we are. And I have never met you, Antonio, in person. We've met many times over Zoom. And I know that now you're a great person. So when you put your arm around yourself, and this is you can actually tell yourself, you know what? I'm a good person. So I have to forgive myself for what happened back then and let that guilt go. Whether that means writing it down like we talked about and burning it, never looking at it again. It's that emotion that we have to get rid of.
Yeah, and I think another thing that really helps is just talking about it, because what's her name? Sylvia? No, not Sylvia Brown. No. Anyway, Brene Brown. She talks about how if you have guilt and you don't talk about it, it becomes shame. It becomes, instead of saying I did a bad thing, it becomes I'm a bad person.
Yes.
And there's a difference there between the guilt, feeling guilty, and feeling shame. But somehow, if you take that shame and you say to someone, this is what I did, and I feel really awful about it, and you talk about it, it's no longer shame. It's somehow sharing with someone else and getting that common compassion and understanding helps to release that. So just remember not to keep those things to yourself. There's likely a lot of people in the world that have done
Yes.
similar things,
Or worse.
or maybe worse.
Yes. Here's a great one from John Doe. Is it safe to say John Doe is from Hawaii?
It's okay. It's okay to be John Doe.
Okay, John Doe. I talk to my loved ones every night before I go to sleep. I know that our loved ones can hear us whenever we speak to them. And sometimes they will respond if I tune into them. Everyone can do this. John Doe, 1,000,000%. You don't need a medium to tune into your family, to your loved ones that have crossed over, or even to your guides. If you did, I wouldn't be teaching people to do what I do, because why would it? I mean, no, I would be, you have to come to me. No, I'm special. You have to come to me. I'm special, all right, but not in that way. So when I say, and anybody that's ever been on a show with me or had a reading with me, I say it so often, it's like I feel like I'm recording, but I don't do anything special when I do my mediumship. I believe all 8 billion people on Earth can do what I do. It's not a gift. It's a right that we were given. Oh, my guide gave me that word. A right that we were given when we agreed to incarnate on Earth, that if we so chose, that we could tune in and get help. Thus, we have the guides.
Now, if you're one of those people that's going right now, okay, that's good for those people, because I've been in that space. It's like, well, yeah, so they can all connect with their loved ones, but I can't do that. I feel like I'm not connected and I don't know how to connect. What would you tell those people?
Those people, I would say, find somebody that does connect and that is willing to work with you and help you tune your satellite. Don't find somebody that's just going to say, yeah, book a session with me once every 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and I will give you the message. Find someone, if you're actually wanting to tune in. Not everybody wants to, and that's okay. You don't have to. Not everybody in the world has to. Would I love it if everybody woke up tomorrow morning and said, I am going to book a session with Kevin, and I'm going to get him to teach me how to connect with my spirit guides? Oh, I would love it. I'd have 8 billion customers. I'd have 8 billion clients. But more importantly, this world would be such a better place. Would it be perfect? No, but it would be way, way better than it is. So if you have that thought in your head, you know what, I kind of want to do this, then reach out to somebody, whether it be me. I'm not everybody's guy. That was something I had to really come to terms with when I was doing this, and realize that there's some people that don't like me. Can you believe that?
Some people don't like me either.
It's amazing. How can you not like us? But you don't click with everybody. So find somebody and work with it. I have clients that I have worked with, and I have said, okay, look, I will only can get you to here. I'm going to send you over there. And it still didn't work. So then we said, okay, maybe this person will help. And I think that person helped. So don't stop just because you went to somebody and you're like, didn't work. I went once. I spent, 3 courses, 16 hours. So 32, 48 hours of intense training, then 6 months of even more intense training, and then the last 6 years of learning to be able to do what I do. Mm-hmm. And am I good at what I do? Is it boasting if I say yeah?
Well, yeah, you're good at what
I am good. And just like Angela can say she's very good at what she does when she's helping people through grief or doing, I point over here because she's got her angel cards that she hasn't needed because this just comes naturally to her. But it's not going to happen in one session. It's not going to happen in 2. This takes time. It's like you're literally having to reprogram this brain to stop thinking the way we've been told can't do this. This is silly. This is all fake. This is not real. That was a hard thing for me to get by. So can you? Yeah, I believe everybody can.
Yeah.
Will they? No. Oh, there's a...
For me, has many different levels of healing pattern for me.
Okay, I'm going to put that up and get you to... Oh, I'm going to put it up on the screen.
Okay.
And then you can continue reading it there.
Okay.
No, read it out loud.
Oh, read it all?
Read it all.
Grief for me has many different levels of healing patterns. For me, it all depends on how one has left or departed in our lives. Yes, I find talking or writing has been my most rewarding way. And over the years, I have learned that our grief has a process and it will come and go, but it gets easier to talk about it or holding space for assistance. And yes, allow the process of all the different emotions that will arise to it. Yeah. And I think as soon as you understand that grief's not just an emotion that keeps coming up, it's actually a process. And those emotions have messages.
Yes.
So, you know, when I was triggered by the Ford F-350 truck, and I'm using that example again, I go home, I start writing about it. What really is at the root of that? Well, I'm upset because he finally got the truck he loved. He wanted this truck so badly. He was able to purchase this truck and had very little time to actually be in the truck.
Yes.
And so there was a level of grief there for me, for him, really, not being able to live out an expectation. And there was a lot of those, right? There's loads of those that would come up. And there was always a root, you know, at the bottom of those emotions.
That's an important concept that we really didn't touch on. And we were worried we wouldn't have an hour. If we wouldn't get through an hour, like we wouldn't have enough material for an hour. And we could go like 3 hours, folks. When we're going through those emotions and we get that wave of, like you say, you saw the same truck that Blaine had bought and you, okay, I'm going to put that in the waiting room. I'm at a Chinese food place. I don't want to have a meltdown here. You go home, you sit in there. It's important to know that each emotion that we're going through, we go through it for a purpose, or there's a message we need to understand. What's the best way to get those?
Really, for me, it was to sit with it. And for me, it was to process it, write it. But some people are painters. Some people are drawers. Some people love to walk in nature. And there's lots of revelations that have come to me just walking in nature.
Touching trees.
Yes. Listening to music in my ears, walking down the street, thinking about what happened, you know, thinking about my thoughts around that. Why might this emotion, as soon as you ask the question, why might this emotion be coming up? There's going to be all kinds of things that will come in and enlighten you. And if you can't get there, it's okay.
Yes.
Because the emotion is still going to release, whether you know where it's coming from or not. When it's there, allow it to release in whatever way is best for you. And I can help people find that way. There's a lot of tools, people, lots of tools.
Okay, so we've mentioned this many times. So if people want to reach out, we didn't talk about this right off the top. Miss Angela Clement wrote a book. It's called Awakening Through Grief. You can get it on Amazon or through her website. Which one's better?
Well, the website will take you to Amazon.
Okay. So Amazon, or if you happen to see us, we usually have a copy with us, and she'll sign it. She loves to sign it. She loves her signing. She's important. No.
No.
You know I'm bugging you. She is an expert in grief recovery. Oh. That was from your guides.
Grief recovery.
I like that. What is the best way people can reach out to you, whether they want a one-on-one with you to discuss that, get on your group mailing list? So talk about your groups, talk about everything else.
So healingenergy.world. Healingenergy.world is my website. Absolutely everything I do is on that website. So my podcasts, the blogs, newsletters that I write, the support group. You can sign up for notifications when we meet. We meet about every 10 days. It's free. It's on Zoom. Anyone can join. It's not mandatory that you share in those groups. You can come and listen. There's notes there if you want to look back in the notes and see what we've talked about before. There's all kinds of sessions that you can do, either the Healing Hearts with Kevin and I, or I can do angel readings. I can do healing sessions, the energy healing. And there is a 12-week program that I can take people through to help you through grief. And
it's
the program
effective.
that I went through when I had my grief coach. And so I know that it's effective because when I went through it, it helped me immensely.
And the other thing that's effective is, and you mentioned it, is our Healing Hearts. It's so hard for humans to brag about themselves or to say that we're good at something. I don't know why that is, but it is. But I can tell you, we have done many, 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 many sessions together now. And I can't think of one that hasn't been way more powerful than just a medium session, folks. I love doing mediumship. I want you to go to kevinthemedium.ca and book a mediumship reading with me. It's $100. Or you can book a Healing Heart session and get two of us for the same price. And it's so effing powerful, folks. And it's not us. It's really not. We're not powerful. It's them. We pull in so much energy. Ooh, look at the goosebumps that just popped up. We pull in so much energy that it's just natural that it goes out. So again, you can go to Healing Heart or Healing. What's your website? That's where
healingenergy.world.
Healingenergy.world to book that.
Somebody just mentioned there's the Audible book on Audible.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
And it's really cool because she narrates her own book.
Yes.
And it's very, very cool. April just did a Healing Heart session yesterday, last night.
Yes.
And she says it is amazing. That was an amazing session. She had a friend that was with her, and it was a special. I told her, it was like, I hope you got as much out of that reading as I did, because your guides and your loved ones were just, whew, it was good. Mm-hmm. There's not too many sessions where we finish and Angela comes right into my office and gives me a hug, because it is that powerful. So folks, again, Kevin the Medium, I'm all over social media, as most of you know. You can book a session with me, or you can go to
healingenergy.world
and book a session with Angela. You can also book a session with both of us at her website. I have to fix that. I don't know how to do it because it never comes up on mine properly. Yeah. Which is silly. But anyway.
It's easiest just to go to my website.
Yeah.
healingenergy.world.
I had many readings with Kevin recently, Healing Hearts as well, one-on-one with Angela. Amazing, powerful. Ange Field Stewart.
Thank you.
That's all you. And it really is. That's we have talked about this lots. It's our clients that make it so cool, because they allow us just to, they open up and they allow that energy to flow. And it's just so powerful. It's so cool.
Yeah, I tell people, when you, and I think I said this last night at the session, when the doctor puts a cast on your leg, you break your leg, doctor puts a cast on your leg. Who does the healing? Not the doctor.
And not the cast.
Nope. It's you.
Yes.
Your body naturally knows how to get through grief. It naturally knows how to heal. And so all we're doing is giving you that energetic space to be able to do what
We're giving you the cast.
naturally. Yeah,
That's a good
that's
way
what
to
we're
say
doing.
it.
We're giving you the cast.
Folks, this has been exactly like literally when we've talked about what we wanted to do. This is exactly what we thought it would be. So, folks, get your questions in. How do you get your questions in? Well, you can private message if you don't want to put them on Facebook, or you can go to Dear Universe. It's a group. I think a lot of you are already in that group, but if you're not in that group, get in that group because it's really cool. And ask your questions, because when you post it there, of course, we're seeing it. And then you get all the people in that group, which is close to 80 people now, I think. And they're giving you their perspective on your question. We might pick your question to come and do one of these next week, next Monday. We are committed. We should be committed. We are committing to doing this every Monday going forward, barring holidays, travel. We
broken
ankles. We travel a little bit, not a whole lot. But we are going to do this a whole lot. And we want you guys along for the journey with us. Mm-hmm. Any parting words, my love?
Just the same thing as I always say, you can move through grief. You can't go around it. You can't, jump over it. You have to go through it. But there is joy and fulfillment and love and all of those things waiting for you on the other side of that. And if you need a hand to help you through the darkness, we're here.
That's the lady, man. You're the best. Till next week, folks, take care. And remember, send those questions in. We're really looking forward to them. Till next week.